The following video review is for audiences and individuals aged 13 and up. Viewers will acknowledge that they make purchasing decisions at their own risk.
Greetings, YouTube. Dargaho. Your boy Tony C0451 is more nostalgic than usual. Here I'm re-reviewing an action figure that I showed on the channel in late 2016. Meet Chandra Nalaar from when Funko made action figures of characters from Magic the Gathering back in 2014. Despite high hopes and MTG's popularity, Chandra and her fellow MTG characters didn't sell very well, and have ended up in discount stores ever since. I bought Chandra in late 2016 at my local discount store about a week after my birthday, read her character backstory, customized her figure, and have had a crush on her ever since. $4.34 well spent. I still have the sales receipt, by the way. We'll first see her one and only accessory. Chandra comes with a small fireball that is sculpted and painted well, at least. The red and orange paints are mixed well enough. The downside is that the fireball cannot snugly fit into her hand. This next footage is from my initial review of Chandra, but not much has changed since. The fireball easily falls off since there's no peg or slot for the fireball to be placed onto. The only place for the fireball is still in the box. End of story.
Behold Chandra Nalaar herself. Magic the Gathering's fiery and fine pyromancer stands at an adequate 7 inches right up to her fiery hair's tip. What's her steampunk OOTD? She apparently wears a brown-sleeved leotard one-piece swimsuit beneath her armor. The rest of her armor is made up of a red chestplate that covers her upper torso and has a hose attached, hip armor for her hips, a right gauntlet that also has a hose attached, a pair of fingerless gloves, and a chainmail shirt that also covers her neck. She also wears thigh-high brown socks with wraps and apparently separate metallic painted shoes. Her left leg also has a separate knee pad attached, making me wonder if she's been injured there before. I almost forgot Chandra's signature goggles. Wonder how much her outfit would cost in our world.
Now, I mentioned earlier that this is my custom version of Chandra's figure. More details can be found in a separate video, which will have a link in the description. Long story short, I streamlined Chandra's outfit and painted her hair and eyes to turn her into a steampunk Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z. If I may add, I used a pair of shears to cut off Chandra's loincloth and skirt, exposing her bikini bottoms. In my opinion, those brown bikini bottoms and her brown sleeves help give the illusion that she's wearing a brown one-piece leotard swimsuit beneath her armor. Finally, I pulled off her shoulder pads permanently after the video about her custom job was complete. Glad that I didn't break both bicep joints afterwards. I must be frank about this figure's flaws. Chandra has joints that loosened up over time, as you'll see during the articulation demo. The biggest problem? She broke in two right out of the box. That's right, the diaphragm ball joint snapped right after I unboxed her. Fortunately, she snapped back together despite having very loose torso articulation afterwards. I eventually painted liquid whiteout on the broken diaphragm joint in 2019 to tighten that looseness. I could consider this figure to be technically broken, but at least she's not falling apart when I'm posing her. Am I tempting fate?
Now let's look at Chandra's articulation. Chandra's head is on a ball joint that lets her look up and down fairly well, yet her head can't turn left or right that easily. I almost worried about breaking said ball joint too. Shoulders can swivel forward and backward and hinge in and out. Rather loosely though. I worry about breaking these joints too. Loose bicep swivels. Single jointed elbows. Loose elbows, I'll add. The wrists swivel and hinge, but the hinges are a bit hard to see. They could also potentially break. If you look closely, the diaphragm joint still works despite being broken right out of the box. The range of movement is limited, of course. I could still risk snapping the diaphragm joint again if I'm not careful. Leg articulation. First, her hips are on universal ball joints. They let her kick forward and backward and move in and out. She has thigh swivels. Forgot to show the extra range of movement in her hips. She has double-jointed knees that do slowly loosen over time. Her foot swivels from left to right. Her foot also hinges forward and backward but has limited range. Strangely enough, there's no ankle rocker. Because this is a throwback review, I'll reuse footage of size comparisons from previous videos. Here's Chandra standing with Masters of the Universe Classics Adora and fellow Magic the Gathering character Liliana Vess. Then here's Chandra standing alongside McFarlane Toys' Shao Kahn. He still likes females with fire.
In conclusion, Chandra Nalaar's figure is a mixed bag. On one hand, this figure is decently sculpted and resembles a beloved Magic the Gathering character who's easy on the eyes. On the other hand, her joints are either slowly wearing out or have been broken right out of the box. Plus, her fireball accessory is flat out useless despite being adequately made. My suggestion? Buy this figure only if you really like Chandra Nalaar, despite the figure's faults. I'd still enjoy having this figure regardless, and if Hasbro ever releases MTG action figures down the line, I might be tempted to want a second Chandra figure to do comparisons with. No guarantees though. This has been my re-review of Funko's Magic the Gathering The Legacy Collection Chandra Nalaar. I'm Tony, also known as Tony Creator on DeviantArt. Feel free to comment and all that, and also feel free to visit my DeviantArt page. Link in the description, as usual. Thanks again for watching. 多谢收睇。